How's everyone doing out there? Come on, we could do better than that. How's everyone? Awesome. Great to see all of you. So thank you so much, Charlie, for showcasing the vision behind the Enterprise Data Cloud. I'm going to be showcasing a little bit of the intelligent control plane. Pure has always been maniacally focused on simplicity since day one, and today we're taking that to an entirely new level. Our intelligent control plane enables you to be able to transform your business in 4 fundamental ways. The first one is around infrastructure. As Charlie mentioned, we go from siloed, fragmented environments to a virtualized cloud of data. The second fundamental transformation is around operations. Instead of you having to remember all of the manual tasks in order to deploy a workload, you can have it all pre-built as one intelligent, policy-driven workflow. And then third is compliance. You need data governance, but you don't have it today. You deploy workloads, you hope for the best. We're going to give you the world where you get data intelligence, you get the ability to report and remediate. And then the last one is all around productivity. You get the ability to, instead of doing the heavy lift of analyzing your environment, you now get to a world where you can just ask via natural language. Give me some help. I need to figure out where my performance challenges are. But I'm sure many of you are thinking, this whole intelligent control plane thing, it's been tried to be tackled before. I mean, lots of companies have tried to do this kind of thing. There's been the observability platforms that allowed you to see everything, but you couldn't really do anything with the systems. You had to do them manually, all of them separately. There were virtualization platforms that gave you the illusion of a unified data plane, but it caused lots of complexity and bottlenecks. And then you had this world of automation platforms, which gave you the benefits of being able to reduce the manual steps. But at the end of the day, it really was not really understanding what the back-end infrastructure was. The honest truth here is that you actually need all 3 of these capabilities in order to actually deliver an intelligent control plane. But it is still missing one key component out there, and that component is intelligence. Intelligence allows you to do a bunch of cool capabilities within the platform. You get the ability to be able to make better decisions on workloads where workloads are placed. You get to understand via data on what is going on within the environment. It even allows you to be able to do things dynamically or in an autonomous way. The good news is that over the last 13 years and tens of thousands of systems, we've been consolidating some of the largest repositories of telemetry data out there. And we've been using it for intelligence within our own environment. We build better products. We build a support experience where we solve issues before they even come up. And we've been building in unique visibility into Pure One and giving you the ability to be able to see your environment and understand what's going on. What we're doing now is we're taking that exact same intelligence and fusing it together with Fusion to build our intelligent control plane. Our intelligent control plane is architecturally unique. It's embedded directly into Purity, allowing our systems to actually intercommunicate together as one meshed network of systems. They can discover, they can manage each other, they can actually intercommunicate to allow for dynamics that you could never do in a siloed, fragmented environment in the past. This gives you benefits, all sorts. You can first start to federate and build a cloud-like experience where you build that virtual cloud of data. You next can go and build remote management capabilities where systems can manage each other. You can maximize the utilization of all of your systems to get the best overall TCO. And in the future, we'll enable capabilities of being able to dynamically rebalance systems on the fly. And what's even better is we are very excited to announce that Fusion is available for FlashArray, FlashBlade, and Cloud Block Store today. So you guys can all do a firmware upgrade and get access to this and start getting the advantages that I'm talking about. All right, so now we talked a little bit about the infrastructure challenges, but let's talk about operations for a bit. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you out there, maybe after a late night in Vegas, someone calls you up and says, I got to deploy an Oracle workload. And you're like, oh man, what's the latency? What's the performance? What's the capacity requirements? Oh, it doesn't stop there, guys. What's the replication strategy? How often am I going to hold snapshots and retain them? What's my QoS policy? Well, am I going to tag it? I mean, the challenges are endless. But imagine a very different world. Imagine a world where you could have everything preset, all bundled together as one consistent way of deploying applications, and make it so that you can actually deliver these in a highly consistent way, but even better, do so with intelligence. Pure Fusion solves this challenge with presets. And these are also available for you to be able to leverage to give you day one compliance around consistency, leverage the intelligence within our systems to be able to deploy workloads not only consistently, but on the right system in the environment, and then provide in the future capabilities of giving self-service to end users to actually be able to deploy these themselves. Sound pretty cool, huh? You guys interested in seeing it? All right, let's check it out. I'd like to bring Matt up to the stage and showcase some of this cool technology. Matt, what's up? How are you?
Great, how you doing?
All right, let's jump in.
All right, so look, we know a lot of you are still deploying workloads manually. And that's going to come with things like chasing down performance, protection, compliance across dozens, or even hundreds of arrays. Now, Pure Fusion, on the other hand, uses real-time intelligence to automate precise, policy-based deployments that are optimized for performance and efficiency at scale. So let me show you how this works. Fusion turns your business policies into reusable blueprints called presets. And this defines exactly how the workloads are deployed securely and consistently. So we'll deploy a mission-critical workload under a preset using our standard naming convention. That's the workload type, the storage class, and the protection level. And protection is baked in right from day one. In this case, we're configuring daily snapshots with a 14-day retention period. And if required, we could also include things like replication. Next, we're going to define the workload type so Fusion can make intelligent placement decisions. And you're going to see in just a moment how that works. So we'll go ahead, choose Oracle, and we'll move on to our storage class. Now, think of this as a policy that defines where the workload is supposed to run, like only run on our high-performance storage. So we're going to select FlashArray//X, and then move on to the storage configuration. And this is just where we can name and define our volumes. Like in this case, we're creating two 2-terabyte volumes, and we'll apply that snapshot policy that we just created. And if we wanted, we could also add quality of service and tagging for things like organization or even chargeback. And with that, that's the preset. It's complete.
It's pretty amazing that you can take all of these configurations and make it just, stamped out every single time. It's great.
Exactly. It's consistency at scale. It's exactly what we need. So deploying that workload is simple, right? We just use the new preset, give it a name using our convention, and Fusion handles all of the rest. So here, Fusion has already automatically chosen the best placement for this workload, evaluating every array in the fleet that meets our storage class, and using real-time telemetry from Pure One to find the optimal fit that's based on performance, capacity, and policy alignment. So let's deploy. After just a few moments, our workload is live, even though it's on a different array. We have our 2 volumes fully provisioned exactly as the preset defined, and it's already in a protection group with snapshot and replication policies applied. And because that group is protected by safe mode, those policies and the snapshots associated with it cannot be deleted, even by an admin. So in just a few clicks, we've defined the workload, locked in protection, and Fusion deployed it exactly where it belongs. But you want to know what the best part is? You don't have to wait. Fusion is baked into Purity, ready for you right now.
Very cool. I love that you can just auto-deploy this on the right system, even though you're not actually on that system, and it lands it in the place that it should be.
Right.
So this amazing technology works great within the Pure Storage ecosystem. But what if it actually worked outside the ecosystem? Well, we're building in a single API within the system that allows them to be able to integrate and provide new values, leveraging the same technologies that we just talked about. In fact, one of the first ones will be VMware. You can go create a VMFS data store and leverage presets. It will auto-deploy it in the right system. It will do it via a preset, and it's ensured to be compliant from day one. We're also super excited to talk about our new integration with Rubrik. Rubrik integrates with the Enterprise Data Cloud, first by identifying indicators of compromise in their system. They then tag our snapshots with ones that potentially are suspect, allowing users then to define which one's the best to recover from. We then build workflows to provide seamless recovery, and at the end of the day, this becomes a 1 + 1 = 3 type of solution. You're going to see a bunch of new technology partners that integrate into our platform and provide new values and services that enable you guys to be able to take your technology and just make it even better with Pure. We're also thrilled to announce our new Workflow Orchestrator. Our Workflow Orchestrator allows you to take the same core capabilities of Fusion, but now extend it out into thousands of different APIs into different ways of deploying applications. So in this case, let's say you wanted to deploy a SQL environment. Maybe have it replicated locally. Maybe even have it replicated to the cloud. Matt, what do you think? Should we do it?
Yeah, totally. I mean, if
Awesome.
you thought Fusion presets were cool, just wait, because let's kick it up a notch. Now, with Fusion and Pure One forming the automation backbone, we can extend our automation capabilities and our intelligence beyond just storage, all the way up to full application workflows. So let's walk through exactly what you described. We're going to start with a ServiceNow incident. We'll deploy a SQL environment, replicate it locally, and we're going to send a disaster recovery copy to the cloud, all fully automated. So in our ServiceNow ticket, we include the preset and a few key details about the request, and that's all that it takes. Our orchestration engine picks it up and kicks off the workflow immediately. And this process could also include multiple approval gates, giving organizations the governance that they need. So we hit save, our request is submitted. Now, while that runs in the background, let's take a look inside of Pure One and see what's happening. So here is the orchestration recipe, which is made up of a series of intelligent connected steps. The first of which is the ServiceNow incident, which kicks off the workflow. Then we leverage Fusion's API. First, we retrieve the preset, and again, this defines how the workload gets deployed. Then we pull a placement recommendation to ensure the workload lands on the best fit array. And finally, Fusion provisions the storage volumes automatically, following the preset and the placement plan. And then, of course, we can send notifications via Slack and ServiceNow, keeping everybody up to date and making progress tracking easy. Next, of course, we're going to deploy the SQL database on one of our SQL servers, completing the core application setup. But wait, we're not done, because since this is a gold tier workload, we're going to add disaster recovery to AWS using Pure Protect. So with that running, in the Fusion Fleet View, we can see the workload, the provision volumes, and the protection groups that are keeping it all safe. And in Slack, we can confirm success with a message showing that the database was created and is ready. So let's go check that out. In SQL Server Management Studio, we can connect to the environment, and everything looks just like we defined in the orchestration recipe. The database is in place, correctly configured, and ready to store our data. So now let's move into Pure Protect and take a quick look at the applied policies. Here, we're replicating one copy of the SQL virtual machine from our local VMware and saving a copy in AWS EC2 every day and retaining that for 3 days for disaster recovery. And so just like that, we've deployed a SQL environment locally and protected it in the cloud. So from request to protection, every step is connected, automated, and built to scale to your cloud strategy. It's just the perfect example of how the Enterprise Data Cloud delivers intelligent, full-stack decision-making beyond just storage. So happy to say these capabilities are available in early access. Go check it out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thanks, Jed.
All right. So full stack, application to infrastructure, Fusion natively integrated. Doesn't get much better than that. All right, so now we've tackled the infrastructure and the operations challenges. Let's dive in a little bit on how we handle compliance. So we've got this concept of telemetry from systems. We now have presets which tell you what the day one compliance was supposed to be. But now we need to figure out, like, what is this thing actually doing in production? And so we're excited to showcase a little bit of some of the future of what we're going to build out for compliance. The first is a data intelligence engine. This will take data from your existing environment, understand it in much more depth, and be able to provide things like application insights, what application it's running, showcase that across the entire fleet. Create a data catalog, so we have a semantics layer to understand exactly what's going on out there. Understand if you have sensitive data, or even down the way, look at ransomware detection. We'll be putting this into a new data intelligence engine inside of Pure One that gives you full fleet views of all of this new intelligence and allows you to operate in a very different mechanism than just it's a block volume. You'll actually know exactly what's in it. Pairing with this, we're excited about the compliance reporting engine that we'll be building. Now you'll be able to go and define policies that your company has, see where you stand on it, and be able to remediate it if needed. Just think about it. For all the CIOs in the room, you have real-time auditing to figure out where you stand in the environment compared to where you expect the environment to look like. All right, so the final step here is productivity. We talk a lot about AI, but let's talk about how we use it. We built this amazing technology called Copilot that allows you to be able to ask questions via natural language. Well, we've taken this to an entirely new level once again with adding in the telemetry data. So now you can go ask what would take, in many cases, hours and hours to figure out and get answers in mere seconds. Like, what's my busiest volume across 100 systems? It would take you forever to figure out that. I'm going to show you a demo of something that's even more fun here. So imagine you have a backup admin call you and say, hey, we missed our backup window last night. Can you help me figure out where the problem is? Well, think about this for a sec. You got 100 arrays. It's going to take you a couple hours to figure out where the actual problem is. But instead, you can just give it context. So let's go ahead and do it. So I'm going to jump in here and say, one of my critical backup jobs missed its backup window last night. Can you analyze my fleet? Find the performance bottleneck. It will go off and actually figure out where the bottleneck exists. Give you a recommendation to optimize the system. And in fact, you'll also see here the ability to be able to fix this solution with increasing the performance. So in this case, maybe you increase the performance on something we'll be announcing later in the show. And it bumps up the performance of that particular volume to make sure that we can actually achieve the backup in time. It will ask for my approval because you want to make sure that these things are governed. And at that point, it will go off and make the change for you. This is the future capabilities that we'll be building into Copilot that will allow you to be able to change the way you do storage management as a whole. All right, so we've talked a lot about the future of the enterprise data cloud, and in this case, the intelligent control plane. We've transformed infrastructure, operations, compliance, and productivity with a ton of new groundbreaking innovations. I want to showcase and have Rob Lee jump on the stage here next to showcase some of the innovations we're building into the unified data plane.